Hey, I want to do a quick little update video at the shop. I haven't taken a video in a long time. Got my lamp here. I think it works good here. Lots gone on in the last couple weeks. I have hardly even touched the car. We got these guys out here right now. I think they're looking for me, but I got the gate closed, so well, they can just stay out there. Makes a nice light show. Got the Jeep hood, the roof for the Jeep. So that's how it's going to turn into a little truck. That's the roof. It's got a back window, and it goes on right here, right in between there. So I got to take this off. I'm reupholstering the seats. That's why they're out. I took those other stupid looking seats out and literally just threw them in the dumpster, and got these original Jeep seats. I put one cover on, and I've got the other cover somewhere around here waiting to go on. There's the other cover. I couldn't find hog ring pliers to attach the seat properly, so. And this table has just become a mess. We got this new table somebody gave us. It's huge, 12 by 8, but we just fill it up with junk, boxes, radiators, light bulbs. What else would you use a nice table like this for? It's just been moving stuff lately. Nothing's really gotten done. I've gotten a lot of things to organize, and I haven't yet organized. I'm trying to get our nuts and bolts selection. I got a few of these little trays go. This is a very inexpensive, like $9 Harbor Freight thing, but those little trays sit on that, and you mount it on the wall. And there's a little place where you can put the little description of what it is. The cardboard fits right in there. So I need an array of nuts and bolts when you're doing this kind of work. Just to lose one, not have one bolt and then have to like get up and go to the hardware store to buy one bolt, it just kills production. It kills momentum in the middle of the day, or if you're like me and you work all night long, like I typically do. I don't have much time during the day. There's no Ace Hardware open at 2:30 in the morning when I need one bolt to mount the transmission or some whatever, hypothetically. Anyway, a lot's gone on. We got lights, real nice LED lights. So it lights this place up great. Just unplugged all those fluorescents. They all worked. We got them all working, but they just were dingy yellow. Everything is just wet and dirty. Gross. The roof fell in last week during a big storm. This whole, from there over, came off, the whole side. The Cobra was here. It was completely full of water, like 3 inches of standing water in the floor. The seats are soaked, everything. So it's at the detail shop now. She's taking the seats out and vacuuming the carpet. If not, she'll take the carpet out because it was insulated carpet. She may end up pulling all the carpet out and drying it and vacuuming it and cleaning it. So it's kind of a big deal. Very expensive so far. Just the whole car got, the roof, you can see broken pieces still hanging down that we haven't even taken off. Just tore this whole side of the roof off. And then rained in here for 8 hours really hard without us knowing the roof was off. So everything looks like it's been in a rainstorm, because it has. We haven't sent this one to the detailer yet. It's next. Although the doors and windows were closed, basically only thing that happened is the outside got, like that's just standing mud on the fender. But we're not going to touch it until the detailer touches it, and then she can assess for any dents or damages. We don't want to create anything, and then eventually all this is going to go through the insurance. So, and the Jeep got wet, but the Jeep liked it. The Jeep was happy to be wet again. Oh, looks like we had a visitor last night. We got rat traps all over because the mice were crazy the first couple weeks. And mice love nibbling on wires. It's their favorite thing. Yeah, so they basically found the roof down the street, so you can see holes out right there. So it's still not sealed all the way. I got some rust repair started in here. That big patch has to come out. That's where the battery was originally. Really clever of the past owners of this car. They had the battery here, which ate the fender up. All this was, that was all missing. So there was a giant hole. So what the people did before I got it, rather than leaving the battery there, being that there's already damage there, they moved it onto this side. So this side's all rusty too. So that all probably has to get cut out, I don't know where, around the corner and bent into place. I don't know if I'm going to try and tackle that myself or hire somebody. I got the right guy to do it. I just don't know if I can afford him. Because this looks like it's going to be... If I do it, I'll probably just cut a square and weld it on there. Paint it and be done with it. I can't go too crazy on this car. But I also don't want it to look chopped up and janky. So I just don't know what I'm going to do about that. And that's a little bit of progress I've made. We've got all our motors here. I think we have, like to 6 or 7 engines here right now. And we've got 3 or 4 in the trailer still. Some of these are good. This one is a 327, and the numbers come back to it coming out of a, I think, 63 to 67 Corvette. So in today's standards, it's not a powerful motor. You can build stuff much more powerful, but it is an original motor out of a Corvette. So if a feller was trying to get a numbers matching, kind of shop for 62 to 67 Corvette for a while and see if you can find one with a motor, might be worth trying to put those cars together. But who knows? That's a pipe dream completely. These two, this is a 307 2-bolt main, and I forget what this is, 283 2-bolt main out of like a, wait, no, one's a 307, one's a 305. I think this is the newer 305, and that's the 307. But we're just going to take the 10 off and, pull that fan. Might be a part worth having. I can use these pulleys for this motor. I need the water pump pulley. I still don't have it. That's why they're not on. I need 2 here and the water pump one, and that's exactly what we have on this motor. Is two down there and 2 up here, because I'm just going to have alternator and air conditioning. No power steering or anything else. So that's good. I'll be able to use those parts. That's a nice freebie. This motor, if you see the valve cover is smashed all to hell. That's because this motor fell over because you stupid floor. That's a gap right there. Same thing I did to the back fender. Now I did it to the front. I pushed this motor over, smashed my hood, smashed my stainless in, bent it all. It's all out. It has a big inch gap now. Just fucking mangled the hood. Luckily it didn't scratch it too bad, the paint, but it did bend the hell out of the sheet metal. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm not a body guy. So that's good. This car has just been getting a beating. Just every chance I get, I've dented it or bent it or fucking dropped it off the forklift, something. I got the steering in, finally. So there's the little couplers. There's the tie rod in. I made these little jam nuts here, and then this is two different size threads. This is a bigger thread and then a smaller thread in here. So those are threaded together, and then got another jam nut for this side. So that's how the rack and pinion's in there. This side's the same. So that's all put together. It's not perfectly tight. I still need to take it and get it aligned. But it's in there. And so now the steering shaft goes up through the exhaust, like I had planned, and into the, too many wires, and into the body. Well, you can't see now with all the paint. Everything's blends in. So there's the column. It has that little collar, goes around the bottom of it. This all has to get painted, and I got not Dynamat, I got Killmath brand. If anyone knows if it's worth it, it's about half the price of Dynamat. It's supposed to be the same stuff. So I got black paint, so I'm just gonna clean the inside real good and coat the floor with black paint, and then lay that Killmath sound deadening stuff down. And then there's a 150 millimeter, like a dense foam mat that you put down next, and then on top of that you put your carpet, so it gives your car a nice dense sound and it's comfortable. So that's next, eventually next. So after all this work putting this steering in, it's taken me months. I bought this rack and pinion as a universal kit from Summit. I told them what I had, I told them what I was doing, and they sent me this rack and pinion. And it's wrong. I've spent all this time making parts, having parts machined, building a cross member, putting the linkage in, and the rack is wrong. So if I turn the steering wheel to go left, I'm on the driver's side right now. If I try to go left, the wheels turn to the right. And if I go to the right, the wheels go to the left. So it's backwards. And I can't return it because I've already grinded on it and welded on it and cut the ends shorter and modified it to fit this car. So now I'm stuck with this $412 rack and pinion that I have to basically take out and put on the shelf for something else in the future. And now I have to find the right rack and pinion, and I'm going to have to change where it mounts, how it lines up. I'm going to have to redo everything. All the tie rod ends have to be redone to match whatever it's going to be. The steering shaft is going to be in a different spot, possibly. The mount I welded to the frame probably has to get cut out and repositioned to line up with whatever this next rack and pinion is going to be. So basically, I'm starting over from where I started 6 months ago, minus moving the engine and building a transmission, cross member, and etc. Now I have to cut this cross member back out, cut this back out, and take this off and throw it away, and find a new one, and hopefully find one. I can't find one now because it's for the back of the wheel. This is called rear steer, when it steers from the back of the hub, compared to front steer, where it would have the tie rod would be up here in the front. So this rack and pinion is for front steer. When I turn the wheel right, the rack goes to the right. It pulls that way. So that's how it should be for the front. The rear you need reversed. When I turn to the right, the rack has to push out to move the back of the wheel, so the front of the wheel turns to the right. So I have to find a rear steer rack and pinion somewhere, and then mock it up and weld it in again. Take two. And the way things have been going, this car might be completely demolished by the time I finish this. It's been getting beat up so bad. This poor thing's been getting its butt kicked. Smashed the fender, smashed the hood, smashed the shit out of the gas tank. Bent this rear metal back here. I kind of got it a little bit straighter, but it's still, I can put my whole damn hand through there and it shouldn't be that big of a gap. See if you can see the completely smashed the shit out of the gas tank. So I need to get a new gas tank. This old girl's been taking a beating, that's for sure. And she got a good bath and a bunch of junk on it from the rain. I got a lot of the wiring figured out. It's looking real good. Everything's and these ones that are hanging down like this is for the column. It just goes right there, and all these are the dashboard. That's oil sensor and water, whatever, tachometer wires, the power to the lights. That's what this cluster is. So this just gets plugged in whenever I finalize, and that's the key. And that goes right there in that hole. So making some progress. It's looking good. It's a lot better than it was. Just sucks doing things twice and wasting freaking hundreds of dollars doing it wrong the first time. Got my gauges ready to go in. I think this oil gauge works in the car, that top one there. So I'm gonna plumb it in and try and run it, and I'm also gonna run the new one just to see. So there we go. Got everything organized pretty good, cleaning it up. It's coming along. There's a lot of little stuff I still need. I need to plumb it. I'm gonna run a water line from here to the back down here, that rusty one. It's just a bypass, just goes from here to here, because these back two cylinders always get the hottest on these GM motors. So you run those, there's one on each side. See, one here and one here. You just run 90s and run it back, and that helps keep the engine cool. Just keeps an extra little more circulation back there in the back of the motor. Because this thing is probably going to get hot a couple times. I imagine there will be sometimes this motor warms right up. Oh, I need to finish my brakes. Got all my wiring labeled. Just what each slide is and everything, and when I put the front end back on, I can run it real easy, make it convenient. I think that's about all she wrote. That's where we're at. The welder got soaked, but it seems to work still. It has watermarks all over it. So, okay, that's about it. Nothing's happened with this thing, except it got wet. Emptied it out a little bit, cleared some junk away from it. It's real nice inside. The interior is pretty much perfect, just dusty. But this old black vinyl is in really good shape. It's nice and soft. It's not all hard and brittle. Even up there. It's nice and soft up there. So it's not all sun-baked like a lot of California cars get. The back windows get eaten by the sun and the dashboard gets screwed up. But this one has a nice dash. This is how it came. This thing's just been sitting untouched for decades. An old feller was ready to get rid of it. We got it. It's been repainted, like I think once. But it was blue originally. It's got some of this junk in the back. Just a little bit on each side. But that's a common spot. That's a common spot for these cars. The trunk's solid, little bit of surface rust up there. But that's it. It's nothing that you couldn't clean out of it. Looks like just surface rust up there. So, that's that. Got new tail lights. These, I don't know, maybe in the 90s they were cool, but those gotta go. They have like Allen head bolts and just retro hot rod. And that's not how we're doing this thing. I'm trying to put it right back to all original. It's a unique enough car without the cool stuff. This car is perfect just the way she rolled out of the showroom floor. This is a 347 stroker, I think, or 3... I forget the story of the motor. 331? I think it's the 331 actually. 331 stroker kit in this motor. So it's pretty radical. It has some power, that's for sure. And this is a moderately lightweight, small car. It's got its own issues. The main thing is they put it's a C4 transmission, but they put a manual valve body in this reverse lockout solenoid and just extra things to go wrong, and now it's really a bitch to make this car go in reverse. It clicks in on and off, and it's really a pain to drive backwards at all. So it sucks for parking. And that's what's next is. And there's a vibration in the motor when you get to about 4,000 RPM, you can feel a vibration in the drive line, in the drivetrain somewhere. So flex plate or torque converter, harmonic balancer maybe in the front. I don't know. So we're gonna figure that out. Make this run tops. That's it. I think that is just a regular stock 350, 2-bolt main. So that one's gone. And then there's that one under the stand there. I forgot about these two earlier. That's a 350 4-bolt main, so that one's going to be worth at least hanging on to, sticking on the shelf. If we need a good core, it's there. If these guys are still waiting on me. Yeah, shoot. You can just sit there. Not tonight, Copper. Yeah. He'll give up eventually. Yeah. All right. So that's what's happening. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please show your friends. Leave a comment. Tell me something. I read all the comments, every one of them. I try to reply to all of them. So, let me hear from you. All right.